I want to, although, open it up now that we're complete to Q&A for members of Sun or the community. So if you'd like, we have a microphone set up, and so it's over to you. Any questions? Certainly, there must be questions. Jonathan, do you have a question?
I was going to come join you.
Oh, please.
And failing anybody else asking a question, I was going to ask a few of my own.
You are.
There's microphones available, and by all means. You're just all stunned.
Well, maybe you should just get them started.
Believe me, Richard and Evan were also stunned when we called them.
Questions from anyone?
We could have an awkward silence for a while.
When should we begin? Now?
So I think, hopefully at this point everybody is comfortable with both the business motivations as well as the technology motivations that we see. And there's been a lot of discussion about, well, geez, if you open source technology, does this mean revenue goes down? So, Rich, what's your view on that?
Well, as you saw from the opening comments, it's pretty straightforward. And I think this is patently obvious that volume equals value. You know, it's the fundamental tenet of the software business, which is unit volume, adds value to everyone involved. And certainly Sun at the core of Java is doubtlessly going to realize incremental economic value, as well as all of the partners, all of the members. As the tide rises, as you cited, the business opportunities created by the advancement of developers, new content, more volume, more interest, more innovation, are always positive precursors to economic improvement. And so this is only good news. I don't think this is at all a trade.
Speaking of trades, there was an announcement made it was about a week ago, by two companies that suggested free software can't be free. That you really have to pay a royalty to somebody. It's not necessarily safe. What's your view on that?
Well, I heard a little bit about that. I took a moment out from all this Java stuff, and I was reading the press, and there were a couple of interesting announcements out there, and it was actually quite worrisome, but you have to zoom out and see the scope of the implications of how the world works. Sun is unique in the industry in that we've been able to build an economic and open source model that really threads the needle, that really provides value for both the open source community and for our shareholders as well. And I think the fundamental or the root tenet that allows this to work is Sun is the creator of IP, right? We are not the redistributor of IP. We have a business model that is fundamentally based on the invention and value of the participants inside Sun and now incrementally outside Sun. And so we have to separate that general statement from the specific, which is the IP is clean and safe and owned by Sun, now donated to the community. And there's no risk, there's no issue of having to pay others for the right to distribute that which we've created ourselves. And so this leaves Sun alone in the industry as a leader in this regard in the open source community and in safety with regard to the open source technology that we've delivered to the market.
And so anybody that says free software requires a royalty is lying.
Lying is a word I would use. Yes,
Good.
Lying.
Excellent.
Right.
And just to amplify that, I think there's been a lot of discussion in the marketplace that you have to choose the community or you have to choose your shareholders. Mm-hmm. And we obviously don't believe in that in the least. I think you can have your cake and eat it too, and I think the things you can do that are good for shareholders, more often than not, if you're faithfully applying the ultimate business objective, is also good for the community. It creates more opportunity for everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And any other questions before I ask a really interesting one?
This is where I go. Right?
That's right. Change is afoot. I guess.
We have a question.
We're shocked.
Right. Anne, you saved me. Thank you. Thank you, Anne.
So there's been lots of questions as a member of one of the groups that's open sourcing stuff around things like, what's the boundaries? Are there any boundaries? Are we going to open source things like TCKs and other interesting bits like that? So the question I actually have is, what are the set of challenges that you see that we are facing in the software engineering organization as we move forward in open sourcing all of our technology?
By all means.
Well, let me start here. I think the real challenge for Sun as a culture, although we're well along the way in this regard, it is still steps to be taken in the evolution, is all about transparency. What I talked about earlier about the challenge and the hard work that has been put in so far in going forward with the open source program, I think one of the big challenges is how do we operate in full transparent view? How do we bring ourselves to acknowledge that, in fact, that's a virtue, right? And so whether it's managing our source code and updating all that in full public view as best we can in all of our programs, or making as many individuals available of our intent and soliciting feedback from the community, it's also the notion of, ensuring that the work done outside of Sun is integrated and adopted and supported, that it's not just about us, right? But it's about everyone. And I think this is a cultural change that Sun is going through. We're far ahead virtually every company out there who has the ability to create industry-changing amounts of IP. But this is just a process we're going to have to go through.
And this is not a small change for a corporation like Sun. We're $13 billion in revenue, 35,000 employees. We spend billions of dollars a year on R&D, and I think it has been a bit of a cultural change inside of our organization to say the membrane has to be porous between what we build here and what we offer to the community. I think Evan Moglen did a wonderful job of talking about, taking what we build, contributing it to the community so that what we build can be improved. And it is a feedback cycle. If we continue to do that, our business also gets better. That's a tough thing for a for-profit corporation, at the scale of Sun to really do. We're the only company in the industry that's really, done more than simply embrace open source as a vehicle for press releases, but instead really embrace the community as a vehicle to create new products and create new opportunities. Yeah.
Bill.
Hi.
Hi.
Given that the PlayStation 3 is a Java ME-based device and it's released this Friday in the U.S., I wanted...
If you can get one.
Can you get me?
Well,
never
so...
I would like one.
So I wanted to ask whether there was any truth to the rumor that all the members of the Java team are going to receive a PlayStation 3.
We'll snap up as many as we could get, Bill. But actually, as part of the team who made that so and got Blu-rays so widely deployed, including the PS3, which is an amazing piece of work, actually thanks to you and the team.
Thank you.
We will do our best if we can find them in stores.
Right.